Marvel's The Avengers has now crossed its 10th anniversary. Oh my god, I'm getting old. At the time, this was quite literally one of the biggest crossover events in all of cinematic history when it brought in Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, Chris Evans' Captain America, Chris Hemsworth's Thor, Edward Norton's Hulk. Oh wait, that doesn't seem right. Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, as well as Jeremy Renner and Scarlett Johansson as Hawkeye and Black Widow. This is a pretty stacked week for Marvel, if you ask me. I just finished my Moon Knight reviews. If you guys haven't checked out Moon Knight or my reviews, go and do so. We covered the finale yesterday, and I will have a review for you guys for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness tomorrow. But right now, let's celebrate the 10th anniversary of the first team-up film from Marvel Studios, Marvel's The Avengers. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Heads Project. I'm John Rodalaza, and today we're talking about Marvel's The Avengers, or Avengers Assemble, whatever you want to call it. Do so. I still think this movie holds up today. It's really good. It's well directed. It's well acted. It's well written, and it does stand out beyond the goobly gob goodness of Infinity War and Endgame. As amazing as those crescendos were, something about the smaller scale Avengers film, despite it still being an alien invasion film, there's something smaller scale and intimate about it that I really appreciate nowadays, and I wish we got more of that. Sometimes things could feel or come across as they have to be some sort of grander scale than the last movie. Like, it needs to be bigger than this or else it's not going to be good or something, you know? But Avengers knew what it had to be. It was the perfect crescendo at the time, the perfect culmination of the two Iron Man films that came before it. Captain America, the first Avenger, the first Thor, the Incredible Hulk, with a recast, and then it just brought them all together for this epic team-up film. This is honestly the best way I see them utilizing Hawkeye and Black Widow, and yes, I'm including their television show and the movie. I just don't think those are strong enough on their own. I honestly feel like these characters work the best when they are part of the ensemble, when they're that missing piece, that missing link. I love it. I love them in these roles. They kill it in them, but something about the other ones, you can see my reviews about Black Widow and Hawkeye on the channel. They're on there right now, so go do that. I also really enjoy the banter between the entire team, specifically between Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, Tony Stark, and Steve Rogers. I love it, dude. There's two totally different people with two totally different ideologies about life and the way to go about taking out the threat of Loki. It's really good. It makes for some great comedic / tension-filled scenes that are still, like, they still work today. I really enjoy them, and it sets the seeds for Captain America Civil War, which you did go review on the channel, so you can go check out that review. This iteration of Thor, this is the second time we're seeing him, and it's way before the more relaxed, funny Thor that we've gotten to know in the previous films, the ones that we just got in the last few years. This is chilled back, Shakespearean, straight-faced Thor, and it works, but you understood that after a few films, you gotta change it up. I still really enjoy Thor in this film, you know. He was still kind of that fish out of water thing that we had in that first Thor film, which I'll cover at some point. It continues here, but for the most part, he's hell-bent on catching Loki and stopping him, and he's just, you know, he's chilling with the Avengers. He's not really with the Avengers. He's just chilling inside the helicarrier waiting for them to catch Loki so he can beat his ass. And Nick Fury in here. This is probably the best usage of Nick Fury in the films. He kind of just gets pushed out to the side, in my opinion, in all the other films. He's got a more prominent role when we get to Captain Marvel, but I don't want to talk about that right now. This is Nick Fury at the height of his power. He is in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's running things. This is S.H.I.E.L.D. at the height of their power. We don't ever really see S.H.I.E.L.D. presented this way in a film ever again, really. They're kind of done in 2 years when we get to Winter Soldier, which I did review on the channel as well. You can go check that out too. Nonetheless, there was a lot of great things going on. A lot of things met their peak, and they met each other in this film. And Joss Whedon, I don't want to talk about him so much, but Joss Whedon had a really great movie that he directed here. I still think it holds up, and I think it's one of the more unique films in the MCU. They clearly went a more serious route. They definitely had humor down the road, but, you know, with movies from the Russo brothers like Infinity War and and Endgame, they toned it up. Like, they made that crap feel mature and made them feel like it was a natural conclusion, a definitive epic conclusion. This is the start that's more lighthearted, and it looks more lighthearted. The colors are more vibrant in this film, and it pops, and I think it had to be that way. I think the style and the vibe and the tone of this film needed to be this lighthearted vibe, and I'm so glad that they were able to pull it off. It's not without its serious moments, for sure. The beginning of this film, the introduction of Loki, how he destroys the shield base and takes over Eric Selvig and Hawkeye, you know, he's with the Mind Stone or the scepter. This is still one of the most epic openings and one of the most epic scenes in the film entirely. Like, to see these agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., these humans with no super abilities whatsoever, take on a god of Loki, stealing the Tesseract. It's nail-biting. I really think the world building in this film was done so well. They didn't give you too much exposition on who sent Loki and why they sent Loki and what their plans are once they get the Tesseract and destroy Earth and conquer Earth. There's none of that explanation, honestly. It's just Loki was sent by some other alien. He gave him a staff. He gave him a bunch of Chitauri aliens to attack Earth, and that's it. With Loki taking over Eric Selvig and Hawkeye, it allowed him to get the better of the Avengers for quite a bit of the film, and that was such a smart way to position your villain. And even after 27 movies of the MCU, Loki is still up there, probably in the top 5, maybe in the top 3, maybe he's your number 1 best villain because he's unmatched. He may not be the strongest or the most powerful villain, but he's smart, he's methodical, and he gets the better of all of his adversaries in this film. Let's talk about Alan Silvestri's score real quick. He did compose an iconic theme. The Avengers theme is now iconic. It's the most iconic theme across all of the Marvel films. You cannot tell me otherwise. It's a beautiful theme. It's heroic. It's action-filled. You hear it, you want to go smash things. You want to go throw shields at people. You want to throw hammers and you want to create an iron suit and blast people. That's what the theme makes me want to do. I don't do those things because I'm not a maniac. But man, there are so many theme cues in here. So many themes that really invoke emotion out of me. When you see the Avengers circle around for the first time, that iconic shot of the camera panning around them. And then towards the end of the Battle of New York, when the World Security Council sent the nuke out to New York, Iron Man rushing towards that nuke, grabs it, goes through the portal that the Tesseract made, and then shoots the nuke right into the Chitauri ship. It's emotions. I'm never gonna forget this. I'm not, because this is the first MCU film that I saw in theaters. I don't believe I saw any of the other 5. I have absolutely no memory of seeing the other 5 in theaters, but this is the one that started it all for me. I fell in love with Marvel with this film. It's so good. It's really good. The action is incredible. It's like none other. The CGI, dude, it's incredible. Hulk looks top notch. The alien invasion in broad daylight looks top notch. And you know, I've said this before about other films with their CGI. Some films will like to film their scenes in the dark, in a dark lit scene, so that the CGI can be hid a little bit more. This entire Battle of New York takes place in broad daylight. They do not hide anything. They show it. It's on full display, all of the visual effects, and they're top notch. All right, I think I gushed on this film quite a bit. I'm gonna call it quits. Thank you for joining me on my review for Marvel's The Avengers. Its 10th anniversary. That still blows me away. I'm still shocked that this movie is that old. It feels like it just came out a few years ago, not 10. There's so many films that are reaching its 10th anniversary that just blow my mind. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and check out my reviews I posted of Moon Knight. We just wrapped up episode 6 yesterday. It's probably going to get picked up for a second season. Let's be honest, Oscar Isaac is way too good for his show not to be picked up for a second season, so go check out my 6-episode reviews I posted of Moon Knight, and also check out my review tomorrow for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. You might want to stick around because there is more to come.